Alright, welcome back. Today we are looking at Orzhov token slash Lifegain ping deck. Ping deck because I wanted to build a deck around these two cards. I think it's a nice little combo. So we've got Elas il-Kor, which you'll all know and love. 2/2 Death Touch, legend. Whenever another creature in the battle you gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. And then we're running Amalia, Benavides, Aguirre, which is a white-black legendary vampire scout, 2/2 with ward, pay 3 life, which is crazy. It's the same ward as Phyrexian Fleshgorger pretty much. And then whenever you gain life, Amalia, Benavides, Aguirre explores. So if we play Elas il-Kor turn 2, Amalia turn 3, she's going to explore when she comes in because it's going to trigger the life gain, and whenever any other creature comes in, it's going to trigger that combo. Then destroy all creatures if its power is exactly 20. That's virtually never going to happen, but you never know. We are also running 1 copy of Arvad, the Weatherlight Smuggler, which is the 1/1 Death Touch lifelink knight, because it is in the right colours and it's got lifelink, so it can be an extra trigger for Amalia if our Elas il-Kors are killed, which grows when things die, and things are dying quite a lot in this deck because we're running quite a big removal package in the sense that we've got Cut Down, Go for the Throat, the Portent, which does exile, so it doesn't trigger that, but yeah, and Virtue. So we're running 14 removals in total. Obviously, the Portent and the Virtue have other uses, so it's only really sort of 6 hard removals, but then with all these involved as well, we've got a big load of removal. And the reason for that is that some of the best decks in the format right now are mono red, the 5-color Legends deck, both of which are quite creature heavy and Lifegain can beat. So that's why I thought like this looks like an interesting set to try. The other card that has performed a lot better than I've expected, and I'm really excited to show off, is the Sanguine Evangelist, which is a 3-costing vampire cleric. It's only a 2/1 for 3, but it has battle cry, so whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+7 until end of turn, and when it enters the battlefield or dies, you get a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. So obviously creating tokens is going to trigger our Elas il-Kor. It means that we will gain life when they come in and our opponent will lose life when they die. And Sanguine Evangelist is a nice creature because it can replace itself when it dies. Obviously if it gets exiled, but a lot of removal at the moment is Go for the Throat, Cut Down, so even if they get rid of the Evangelist, it's going to replace itself, it's going to leave us some presence on the board to beat down our opponent with. Also running 2 of Lord Skitter because it creates tokens, which is what we need. It gives us a little bit of graveyard hate on the opponent in case they're running a very heavy reanimation strategy, and we happen to get this in. I've mentioned Portent and Virtue, so I'm just going to leave those to the side. Portent is obviously important because it gives us interaction with artifacts and enchantments, which we don't otherwise have. I'm not running the 3-costing Legion to Ashes, so this is our only sort of enchantment exile, but 4 of them, so hopefully we'll find enough. I'm running the Fleshgorger as well because I think it's a nice pressure card in the deck, because with Amalia having ward pay 3 life and this having ward pay life equal to its power, it's going to start to get really expensive for our opponents to remove our creatures. I'm only running 2 of them because it's not sort of mainline strategy. It doesn't particularly pair well with Elas, it's not creating tokens, it's not adding to that ping value. But I mean, it's a really strong creature anyway. And then we're also running the Virtue of Loyalty, which can create us a 2-drop token, obviously, but it can buff all of our creatures. And this is a creature that particularly likes being buffed because of its ward becomes more powerful. And with Invasion of Tolvada as well, which brings a card back from the graveyard, Fleshgorger can be a real nasty one because we play it as a 3/3, it dies, and we bring it back as a 7/5 later. So it's got a little bit of like synergy in there. And then the pressure that I think that this creature package puts down on the board is really strong. It's a really nasty combo because we've got a lot of creatures. If they die, they're going to start taking damage. If they want to target them, they're going to take damage. So it's one of those like grindy creature decks. The reason for playing 1 copy of Invasion is, yeah, it pairs well with this. Also, Amalia and Elas are kind of like a nice combo. So if they manage to remove a piece of this, we can bring one of them back with Invasion. But also, flipping this to the Broken Sky and giving our creature tokens a lifelink and generating more tokens for us is really nice combo in this deck as well. So I don't think we want too many because it is expensive at 5. But it is a nice little addition, and if, for example, our opponent plays the One Ring, we could play this and attack the battle. It gives us something else to target. That's where battles I found are really useful in Alchemy, because the One Ring comes down and gives the opponent protection from everything. Being able to have something else to spend your turn attacking can mean you don't just fall behind on that turn, which is really, really valuable in this format. And finally, we're running 2 of the Seething Skitter-Priest. Now, this is a bit of an underrated card, I think. It's a 4-costing uncommon Phyrexian Cleric with Toxic 1. It's a 3/3, and when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control and creature cards in your hand gain whenever this creature dies. Create a 1/1 Phyrexian Might. The reason I think this is decent is that it can give us that kind of like, if we deployed a bunch of creatures, even our creature tokens that are deployed to the battlefield, when they die, they spawn something in. In other words, if they get killed by anything except like Sunfall or Portent, they're going to leave something behind, which is really nice. It gives us a bit of board wipe protection in a sort of go wide deck, which is very nice. It gives us an additional win con of toxic tokens being created between this and Mirrex if we're in a particularly grindy, stally game. And I just think having that kind of like, you know, for example, if we play Evangelist turn 3, this turn 4, the Evangelist and the bat that we've created will be, when it dies, create a might, and the Evangelist already creates a bat when it dies. So we end up like, you know, we have 3 creatures. If they board wipe, we still have 3 creatures or 4 creatures, because the Skitter-Priest will, you know, it targets itself as well when it enters. So it just gives us some real sustainability on the board. I'm not sure which of these 2 are better in the deck. I think they serve very different functions, but they're kind of like, you know, both almost extra to this sort of core package. But I've really enjoyed both. Both have been valuable in different situations. So we split it between, we've gone 2 and 2. And then the Virtue of Loyalty I already mentioned. Being able to create an extra token is nice, but an extra sort of payoff for having a go wide board. So it pairs well with the Evangelist and the Skitter, because if we are struggling to get past our opponent, putting those 1/1 counters on our creatures each turn is going to mean we eventually break those board stall states where our opponent's got big creatures, we've got big creatures. You know, this is going to get us through those situations, maybe buy us time to find removal. So yeah, I found this to be very useful as well in certain matchups. As I mentioned, we are running 3 Mirrex because we do want to be creating more tokens. That is part of what the deck is all about, and if we start to stall or struggle to find ways of generating them, having a land that can do that is nice. And then the 4 Restless Fortresses for also those types of situations. Running 25 lands in this deck, the average cost is actually 3.6. So 25 is potentially a bit light, but it's important to remember that this is a 7 cost, which is actually almost always played for 2, and this is a 5 drop, which is almost always played for 2. So you know, you get a good enough value out of these even if you don't play the top side. And that's the deck. It seemed quite interesting in my testing. It gives us a way to play Amalia, which I think is a really cool effect. Sadly, there's not lots of other good Lifegain payoffs, which is why I haven't made a sort of exclusive Lifegain deck. I think maybe this would work well in Standard, you know, with the 1-drop white card that means when creatures come in they gain life. Sadly, that's not legal in Alchemy anymore. So we've gone for a slightly different tactic to try and get Amalia to pay off. Let's have some games in the ladder and see how we do. All right. Here we go. The rating's been a bit up and down, experimenting with some different ideas, but we're still doing okay. And this card is just so much fun, man. And we like fun on this channel. We don't like trying hard, but we like fun. Restless Fortress is a good start. Nice. We'll get this down, I think. It looks like the bullshit Creature Legends deck. Thankfully we do well against it because we've got a ton of removal. That is the new deck that I actually think, like, if the deck doesn't beat the Creature Legends Joda 5-color deck, then you have to throw it away. That's like the new prerequisite for Alchemy. It's the deck that you see a lot high on the ladder because it's reliable, it's consistent. Plaza is a broken land. People, I think, are struggling with land base, so they like Plaza. Yeah, don't know. Seeing the Legends deck a lot, so it's the new benchmark. What's going on, Mango Dude? You disconnected? Here we go. They just logged back in. They can't cast anything, right? So let's just get going. Let's get all of our creatures down. They're not running board wipes because they're running creatures, so if this is what I think it is, that's not a card I would expect to see, but fine. We can get rid of that just like anything else. And then we let the beatdown commence. Okay, 1 mana, any colour. They're struggling for colours, maybe. Green, green, green. Unless this is mono green deck. I mean, could be. Not what I expected if it is. Obviously we could have played this, but the Lifegain plus holding open removal when we've got such a good board state. We don't need to develop the board state right now. Again, I don't think we're against board wipes. If we thought we were against board wipes, then this is good. Unless it's Sunfall, but we're not. Hard to think what they could play that would get them back in this. That's not it. Mono green is nice to try, but nope, that isn't going to cut it. Not when this was this much removal in the format. Alright, next one. Yeah, a very different makeup of a hand from last time, but still looks okay. What? We playing against mono green again? I don't believe our luck. Haven't got all the removal this time, so maybe it's gonna be more tricky. Maybe. I don't know what they're ramping to, right? They're definitely ramping to something. Is it a Galta ramp? Like, well, were there any good big green creatures that came out in Ixilan? We'll go black. Okay, so the green blue. I wonder what the blue, what is this for? I don't like it because I haven't got any removal. Okay, elementals and elves. Yeah. Is this elves? No. What? I do not know what is going on here. Where's all my removal though? Yeah. Don't really see this card very often. Okay, more land. So they've got 4 mana. Can they play a land? Yeah, they can. Well, they get a land out. Trigger this Nissa. I wonder if they've just got 1 elf or elemental and it's a game changer. We're about to find out. Can't believe we haven't had any removal out though. I've got 2 cut downs, 4 go for the throats, 4 Porcine Portents, 4 virtues, 13 removal spells, and we haven't had a single one in the top 11. Is what it is. Just another Nissa. Yeah. That is a problem. The card hits itself, right? Yeah. And it's legendary. Tendril of the Myco Tyrant. 7/1/1's on a land. Okay. So it then becomes a 7/7 flying because of this thing. A 10/10 maybe. Whenever no, okay. I think we just blast this down like this. We don't want to attack with that because they've got a spare one, so the real big end game coming here, or if it is just this thing trying to make 7/7s. Interesting choice. What do we take? 3, 4, 11? Okay. And taking 11, but when... yeah, when you get perfect blocks, and then you get some positive out the end, seems deal to me. And there's some actual removal. Nice. Let's get this in. Gain a couple more life. And obviously we can attack with everything because we've got a virtue. And your forest doesn't have flying anymore, which is nice. Yeah, another Nissa. That attack was just very bizarre. They could have selectively attacked with their flyers and come out much better. I mean, I applaud someone trying to play this card, or make you know land creatures a thing, but I'm not convinced that it is a thing. Because the thing is, it just makes them 3/3s as well. 3/3s. I mean, one Sheldred or something, and you're just doomed. Let alone this type of board. Okay. GG. Okay. Looks like we've got a potentially more challenging opponent. Let's see. Guess we're going first. And we've got cut down turn 1, so if it is Legends, that'll make me happy. It isn't. They could have cut down turn 1, but let's hope they don't. They don't. Good. Esper. Interesting. I think we'll just pass. Yeah, okay. That was good then. So we can cut that down, get a 2/2, and then be looking nice. This will be running Sunfall though, almost certainly, so I do want to be a bit careful of over-developing. I think this is nice. Can hold on to all of this stuff for now. But this is a real threatening board for them, so it's like a 2-turn clock now, so they need a Sunfall or to start selectively removing our stuff, which is what we want them to do. Ring into Sunfall, yeah, okay. We don't want to do anything here. At least if they Sunfall, they can't use their ring. Yeah, okay. Glad we didn't play anything. It was a shame that we missed a land drop in there, but that's not the end of the world in this deck. It just would have been nice to get this down. Okay. That's a bit annoying, but... Oh, come on. How have you managed to find your ancestral recall by luck? You lucky little sod. Okay. I think we're going to go in here and hope that they haven't got another Sunfall. They're a little bit low, so they've, you know, Sunfall will obviously win them the game, but if they don't have Sunfall, we could be okay. Ugh. They're going to keep finding exactly what they need. We'll be in trouble. Okay, let's see. What's this? Interesting. They had a hand and we didn't. But I guess they're looking for Sunfall. And that, yeah. I mean, they've been flipping lucky. They found. Oh my god! They found their recall twice and they found Time Warp. And Time Twister. Yeah, they've literally found all of the good cards out of the Power 9. They've only shuffled in one set, right? That's what I don't understand. How are they getting so lucky? Draw it again. I think this might be over, boys and girls. Sunfall is a good card against us. We can come back from it, but not against a deck that pops up this hard on turn 6 or whatever it is. Ah, come on. You've not drawn your recall. Every time you've drawn it. There's only one in the deck. Well, okay, that one was, ugh. Thing is, like, that deck is one of the best decks in the format, right? But I just can't be bothered to play like a 20-minute best of one game every time. Because, you know, I'm relatively gracious and don't make people like play that out for the win. But you know you're going to win, but it's just going to take you so long of solo play to get there. I just don't understand the enjoyment in that type of deck. It's the same reason that the Boromir Rata-Drabic combo deck, it does nothing for me, because every other player will make you play it out and burn their life down, and that is just, you know, if Arena had a way of like forcing a surrender for when you demonstrate a combo, then fine, but it doesn't, so fine. No. I'm going to play it this way round because I feel like opponent isn't doing much and I want to get this to grow with the Go for the Throne. Potentially greedy, but what have you got? Lay down arms or something? No, you're just deciding whether to attack the 2/2. Interesting that they've played a card that doesn't grow with Vanguard. They can trade either for that. They didn't, thankfully, but we wouldn't have minded. Pretty cool sleeves. Ugh. Beginning your end step, choose one. They draw if we didn't attack them, or they get 3 1/1s. I don't really want them to have 3 1/1s. Maybe it's better than them drawing though. Like, 3 1/1s for 4 damage. Well, I suppose they are 2/2s, yeah. Because they're soldiers. I didn't really appreciate that. Oh, because they're human soldiers, sorry, yeah. I feel like they should have just played this. That would have made this really hard to deal with. How are we losing to this? I should have not. Ugh. Okay. Let's get rid of this. That's problem number 1. Let's play this and get the first little pig in case they use their virtue, and that can then help us solve problem number 2. And do we attack? Probably. They're not going to block with Mondrak, and they could trade 2 1/1s for either of these things. I think we don't want them to have such a big board, so that's going to grow the Arvad to be massive. Yeah, interesting choice. In my mind, getting rid of 2 1/1s when they've got a potential virtue is just good value. Myrel, okay. Only got 1 other soldier, so 2 soldiers. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to deal with it. Can virtue. Probably a good move here. Let's attack with this. Put some pressure on. Got rid of 1 of there. Ooh, do we virtue? Because we could get the 2/2 and play the virtue. Maybe that's better. Then we can block the Myrel if it attacks. Even if they kill Arvad, we've got the pig that can block it. Got a lot of land, haven't we? 8 lands in 14. Yeah, I was thinking, well, how am I running out of gas? It's because of how much land we've got, but it's not too bad yet. But if we top like 2 more lands in a row, we might get in trouble. Okay, I'm glad then that we played this one out first, because obviously a hater. That's nicely done. We haven't got virtue anymore, but oh, I was going to say they need to block one of them while they die. Alright. Alright. Ooh, number 20. That's going to be mono red or legends then. What do we think? Okay, not what I expected. That could be legends. Or it could be a similar deck. Maybe we should run this land. Alright, let's get one of these in. We've got a spare. Unfortunately, our cut down doesn't seem to be too useful here, but there's always a target for them eventually, right? Yeah, it's that. It's just the same old. Okay. Rusko, Oracle, Dollmaker, plus Ring and some spells. Okay. Okay, that's good. I mean, it's basically, yeah, not that useful a card to draw early on. Let's get this in. Most likely their removal is go for the throat only, so I could have the Portent in there, I suppose, but maybe less likely. Apparently just as likely. At least they're getting low on cards. Although the scrying is not what we want to see. Alright. Let's hope no Sunfall. If Sunfall happens now, we're in serious trouble. We have got our Minas Tirith, so we can actually draw pretty well if we don't Virtue, but maybe we'll Virtue. Since we can't really attack very well now. Got a little bit of incidental Lifegain with this combo, which is handy for the dealing with this in the short term. Ah, come on, now they can Portent and get rid of the Virtue. Oh, they didn't even do that. That's bad. But how do they always have it? That's what I don't get it. Like, this shuffles a load of shit into your deck, and you always pull these cards? Like, it's just mad. I bet they've got the extra turn as well now. Okay, one ring, just as good. Basically an extra turn, right? Because we can develop, but we can't do anything. Oh, we're dead anyway, right? They attack, yeah. There's no, there is something we can draw, which is the white Virtue. Because then when that's on the stack, we could flash a creature in and gain one, but we didn't get that. Okay, we've lost to the same deck twice. It's like Esper Control is just Esper Control in Alchemy with the one ring. Orzhov Alpha, Rusko. We've got loads of removal. I guess if we draw all the right removal would be good, but maybe even then, maybe not. Okay, Regal Warder. This is a nice hand. We really haven't seen many of our Amalias, have we? Have we seen any? That's the whole point of this deck, was to play that fun new card, and we're not seeing any. Swamp, no removal. Curious. What is this? Draw a second card with a 1/1 on it. No. Not sure what that's about. Don't think we want it. Ah, speak of the devil. But I think we're going to play this turn. Because I want to get my board a bit wider, then play Skitter-Priest, and then have a nice protection against mono black. As I said, it's in every deck. Alright. We can trade because, yeah, with this out, it's sort of worth it. Lose life. This can be untapped, so we will do that. Could bring back the Evangelist or not. Let's not. I'd like to be able to flip this the turn I play it, so let's just play this for now. Because they are running Gix's command as well, so if they do manage to wipe us, at least we'll have 3 creatures left. I think we can happily lose a bit more life for now because we're still on 21. Interesting. Okay. That was a lot more how it's supposed to go. And back, we were at 666 before. We lost on 1-1 and we're straight back to 666. Like, I feel like it's fixed. What is this? All right. Yeah, fine. One too many land, but beggars, and we're certainly beggars, can't be choosers. Red-green, now that would also be what I would choose to play against, so maybe we can be choosers every day. Electrostatic infantry. Bing. We are feeling rather sadistic today. So this is Spell Slinger type deck. Fiery Inscription. When you know the format, you know the format. Please, no more lands. 6 in the top 9 is plenty. Good. Okay, there's some 5 more damage, and then next turn we've got a nice wide board for the battle cry if they don't remove it. If they do remove it, good. Because that means they didn't remove these that are gaining us life, which they also don't want us to do. And then we can just start, we'll go for the throw, and then we can start creating Mirrex tokens or using these fortresses. Resolve gives them a land and a Swift Spear, but it's a tap land, which they probably don't want. Yeah, they didn't want. They probably do want a Swift Spear, but maybe not. They want the Saw Blade Scout. Okay, and the Swift Spear. They're probably feeling quite defensive now, and rightly so, but they're not going to have good blocks next turn. Man, the land has been really on us. Yeah, don't think there's much ways that they get spells out of the graveyard, but because of Battle Cry, these become a lot more dangerous. Okay, you take it. You take it. Nice. Okay. Similar rating, at least, this one. I'd much prefer that to the ones where if you've got like a much higher rating, you basically move up nothing. What were we, 667 I think the last game? And if you lose, you move down tons. Mono red, this is a good hand for mono red because this into this is life gain, then lots of removal. Goblins, yeah. It means we probably won't do this into this because removing the Horde Master is so important. And then we'll start exiling any more Horde Masters. Okay, they did hit a Goblin off that, which is a bit sad, but never mind, we gained some life. Okay, Fuseling, yeah. And a Fuseling. Kind of want to play this, but it's not mana efficient, is it? Maybe we should Portent. Yeah, okay. We're not too desperate for the life gain just yet. And that has paid off. Shrink those back down. That's 2 Horde Masters down. maybe we'll just play this. Give them something to deal with. So we picked the first pig because obviously they could be playing Goblin Influx Array, which although it's a 4th drop, which they don't have yet, I think if you've got any excuse to pick first Little Pig, you should pick first Little Pig. That's basically my way of playing, because the other ones are fine, but they don't really do anything. Whereas this one, he's nice. And if he draws Burn out of their hand, even better. Fine, yeah. It's like 3 damage to the face that we just avoided. Well, 2 damage. And now we've got a lovely turn, which is this into this. Gains us 2 life, but it's a nice blocking board. Gives them melt through target, but fine. Obviously they're struggling for land, but you always do playing these low curve mono red decks. That's why they've got so many 1-drops, right? I think we just block. Even if they have like a the combat trick thing for 1, and can save 1, doesn't really bother us. That's pretty nice. Look at this pile of dead goblins. And we're still on 15 life. Exile that one. Yeah, they might as well just get a pig, and then we've got the black for cut down. 4/4 now as well. $16 lands, 16 cards you've gone through. You still only got 2 lands. How many do you think they're running? 17 or something? Okay. I don't think there's a good outcome here for you. No. Definitely not a good outcome. Yeah, that makes our deck look really strong when they play lots of little creatures. Okay. Number 278, John D. Think. Yeah, it's a hand. I think this is gonna be Legends, but let's see. I kind of want it to be with this hand because we've got the removal for all of their ramp cards, removal for Boromir, Ratadrabic. Like, these are just great against Legends. All red we would take. What we need is to get Amalia down and for her to survive a turn so we can start exploring with the life gain of these. Mono black maybe. And then maybe I'll play this first. If they play a creature then these are good, but cut down, I don't want her getting cut down. And yeah, even if she, yeah, it would have just been an extra way to gain life and trigger Amalia. Okay, now we don't really have a choice, but they got something. Go for the throat. Edict. Fine, don't even have to target it. Very nice. And unfortunately we didn't draw a land in 2 draws. Got one with the 3rd draw there. Can you play a creature now? No. Liliana, I didn't see that many Lilianas.
And I don't appreciate it when people think you won't be outsmarting me.
They're throwing away removal. They must have a whole ton of it. That doesn't get you anything, I'm afraid. Not that you probably care. keep throwing away these virtues. Not much use. Yeah, go for the throw. Okay, this is good against Liliana. That number 4? No, number 3. The other one was an edict. Some serious removal. Are they going to start minusing? Yeah, they are.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Let's play this out.
You're gonna need a good undertaker.
They could well be running the one ring, so we'll play the first little pig, give them something to destroy. If they minus their Lily, at least we've got the 1/1 to take the brunt. Could have another Lily, of course, which fine.
Off you go.
Shelly, yeah, obviously we don't mind that because we can get rid of one of those. That's really nice. Something to do. We can either use the pig's ability or flash in a knight. It's been a very low mana game. For turn 14. It's non-token anyway. We can attack, I suppose. Obviously we didn't get the advantage of Skitter, but yeah, unfortunately they were sat with the ring in their hand, waiting for our piggy to go. We can get it back with Tolvada if we draw another land. We have drawn 15 cards, so we're kind of due one. But getting rid of that ring has to be the priority. She'll go, bro. Really? Yeah, fine. Skitter for Sheldred. It's a good trade, I think. We can't attack next turn anyway. That's nice. Let's get our pig. Gives us something to attack when they've got invulnerability. Obviously they'll be able to draw 2, which is sad, but they can potentially find some removal for the pig. But then most of their removal is in here already. Look, 3 go for the throats. Oh, come on, dude. Don't be a spoilsport. Alright. Plage. Yeah, that's fine. Fine, fine, fine. Green, white. Finally getting the Legends matchup, maybe. Not sure, but nothing in 3 turns. Let's get the tap land down now because we've got to go for the throats. We don't need the portents unless they play an artifact creature, then we'll feel a bit sad. Is it going to be the ramp battle? Cooped up. Interesting. Maybe they're missing black land and they're playing Oriette or something. Ariette. Yeah, let's play one of these out now. They're obviously playing enchantments, so give them something else to enchant that isn't so important. It also means if they were going to jam the ring, then they can't. Yeah. We got more though. How many do you think they got of these different can't attack or block enchantments? Yeah, look, black. So they are playing area. Is that what it's called? Oh, I can't remember. All right. Where were you a bit earlier? Sadly, the Tolvada's less useful against this deck. So we could shoot our own pig and then bring it back. There's the Ariette. Which we want to kill, really. They might have protection. The problem with this is that you don't have any creatures to soak up removal, right? So this is just always going to get removed. So you need more win cons. That's why I prefer the auras on your own creatures version of this deck. Let's keep this until we can pay for the whole thing, shall we? We'll just attack. And play this. I doubt we're running into Sunfall, although we could, but Sunfall gets rid of all their auras, so it's unlikely. This version, but I don't think we should play it well. Why not just play them the other way around? Then, okay. We'll get to use this side of this portent at least. Maybe I should have just been attacking with the fortress. This is going to whittle them down. It's ensuring we don't fall too far behind if something bad happens, but it feels like a foregone conclusion, this game. Might not be, but it feels that way. Don't want to let them draw, really. I think we'll give this up. Not proving that useful. Oh, I just passed up lethal there. I could have just powered up a fortress. My bad. Oops. That's what happens when you get complacent. I think we're going to be alright though. I think we're going to be alright. Good game. You can concede now. Thank you. Alright, a quick look at the stats at the end. So, as you can see, I've played a ton of games of this deck because I'm finding it super, super fun. Yeah, I played 40 games of this deck overall, and there's 5 different versions, the latest of which is definitely the best. I was messing about with all the different, I tried to get Ode Attack in, as you can see, the 6-drop one that triples tokens. Sadly, both Ode Attack and Mondrak couldn't make it into the final version of these decks. They're just too easy to remove for an expensive creature that gives you nothing when it comes in. Ode Attack, like, if it was when it leaves the battlefield, return it tapped, maybe it would be a little more viable, but even then, all you're really getting is a land, because you can never really flip it back. I wanted it to work so badly, but in the end, 4 Go for the Throats is what this deck needs. I tried Sheldred's Edicts as well, but the problem with this deck is, You don't need to generically lower their creature count like you might do if you're playing a control deck or something where you've got a sweeper later, because we haven't got any sweepers later. What we typically need to do is remove specific creatures, and that's where Go for the Throat is nice. Having a quick look at the sort of breakdown of things, the 5 colour Legends deck I was struggling against when I was running Edict as well, because it's only really the 4 colour one, the Aragorn and the Joda that you actually need to remove against that deck, and obviously being able to disrupt the infinite combo if they're running it. So that's where we used to lose against that deck, whereas these days I think we're doing okay against that deck. The one that is a pain is the Esper deck. I think that is always going to be tough for a deck like this, because it can go off independently unless you have counter spells, and we're not playing blue. So that's one deck that I think is going to be tough. There could be things that we could do about it if we had sideboards. I'm thinking playing Reprieve in here, taking out some of the creature removal and playing Reprieve, or maybe other things that we could do in terms of having better removal for 1 rings. The Legions to Ashes. So there are potential sideboards that can make this deck good as well, and I think I will give it a go in best of 3 because of how much I've been enjoying it in best of 1. And also, even with across all versions, I've had nearly a 70% win rate in 40 games. So, pretty tried and tested. But the latest version at the moment doing even better than that at 73%. So, all I would say is this is a good deck, and it's also really fun. It's one that I can stomach playing for a long time. So obviously being able to flex the power of Porcine Portent a bit more is fun. And Amalia, she just, in certain games where you get this in Elas il-Kor down, she'll just solo you the game. So I think it's really fun, and I recommend you go and play it. If you do and you enjoy it, leave me a comment and let me know, because I would like to know. If you try it and it doesn't work for you, let me know as well, because sometimes it's like a lucky run. In this particular case, in so many games, I don't think that can be what it is, but it can be that it suits my play style and not yours, or I don't know. So it'd be interesting to hear if anyone tries it out. Let me know. But thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll be back with some more decks soon. Take care. Bye for now.